is our first conference that we've had in Liverpool for 15 years. So we decided to come back here because the last conference, which was held at the Adelphi 15 years ago, was very much an externally focused conference and talked about industry. And at that time we were talking about Europe because it was 1995. It was about manufacturing moving offshore and looking at developments, but very much with a European focus. And then the conferences in between there, we tended to look at research and the impact of the RAE. So we felt very much as an association, it was about time we looked outside a bit more about what was going on and how that impacts on what we do within higher education in fashion and textiles. And then concurrent with that, we're also doing the research project, which is mapping the territory, which Jeanette will talk about at the end of today. So we're really looking forward to a very lively and exciting conference. The Foresight Centre was the new Royal Infirmary for Liverpool. It was built in 1889. And then those of you who are joining us for dinner this evening are in one of the oldest buildings in the city centre, which is the Blue Coat, which is an arts centre.
Very nice to be back in Liverpool, because I haven't been here since 1975. Four flagship stores in London, like Notting Hill, Regent Street, where they're going to sell second-hand designer clothes, okay, at very, very high prices. And Oxford already has 130 specialist bookshops in Britain. That's a hell of a lot of specialist bookshops, you see. But the trouble is, Oxford don't pay for any stock, so everything is free. All the people who work in Oxford don't get paid. No staff, no overheads, right? They also get an 8%, 80% tax return.
Nowadays, what we do is we work for mainly retailers, but also some upstream manufacturers and garment suppliers. And what we do is we provide them with information about where people are sourcing things like hosiery up. So it's very up and down. To say that China's done well at the expense of other countries is only partially true, because as in all things, you know, there's peaks and there's troughs in different factories will be doing. Some factories will be doing really well, and some factories will be doing really badly. But it's useful for people to know where strengths and weaknesses.
Catalogue is foremost a learning tool.
The morning of April the 13th, 2005, at about 7:30, and he phoned him up and he said, do you know your company's a merchant of death?
We actually presented an exhibition of work at Index 08 over in Geneva, and that was actually sponsored by IDANA, which is the European non-woven section. So I just wanted to start by saying that, you know, as our increasingly visionary world is evolving and boundaries are blurring.
So I began to sort of use laser as a tool to mark the material. I produced a body of work that was all about upcycling unwanted textiles that couldn't be recycled in the way that I'd been previously working with.
I also thought that rather than looking at just employability for fashion and textile students,
Trying to create new entrepreneurial activity for the students, either within the courses that they're already doing or as extracurricular activity.
work for various design houses, and then came back to the UK and helped to take that onto the Milan catwalk.
The person that picks up the sketch, even if they're an incredibly good product manager, they might be having a bad day, so they pick it up in a hurry. If it's not clear, they'll make an assumption, and before you know it, you've got your sample and it's then sent back over the other side of the world.
You can see I work for Next, the high street retailer. I'm the studio manager for the design and sourcing division of Next. It's called Next Sourcing Limited. So this afternoon I'm just going to talk about our designers and what qualities we look for when we're recruiting. I have a really lovely team of about 17 designers working out of this studio, and it is a bit like having a really grown-up, the best class of dedicated designers. They also need to be sort of like passionately involved in their work and ready to go off to the other side of the world almost at a moment's notice on occasions, with a clean full passport, visa where necessary, and a wash bag, clean underwear, a pile of spec sheets, a lot of tear sheets, and lots of wits and energy.